to my previous stream. I know it's been 10 or 15 minutes. I
Northern
had to
Native
take
ship shape.
had to take a break and get up and
Yes.
well, I had to do a couple of things. I went and checked on some coffee and checked on work. Looked outside and I saw that it's snowing, which is fine. Snow's to be expected. But it's snowing,
So
and they picked up our garbage today. I may have mentioned earlier about this, and but it kind of irks me what they do sometimes when it's snowing or raining. It's like they do it on purpose. They purposely leave the lids open so that your big green trash can bucket that you use get a bunch of water or snow in it. You know what I mean? It's just, well, I mean, maybe it's not on purpose, but my goodness, I mean, I had to live with some other folks, neighbors of mine, and then, because I don't know when they'll be home to get their bucket out of the weather, and then there were others that they just left laying over on the ground, and I don't know, it just looks like they didn't care. They just rolled through and did it, and they don't always, mind you, that's unusual. Most of the time they come through, it's always a little noisy because of the trucks, but they usually get the garbage and the recycles, and they don't do any of that. But like today, it looked like somebody was just crazy, mad, insane, and these buckets are laying on the ground, the lids are open, and the snow's going, like mine, snow was just going in mine and my neighbors, and I closed theirs up and I brought mine in. Oh, sorry, I'm breathing on the mic again. But anyway, it was just it's kind of crazy and irksome, and just, I'm like, why? Why do you do that to us? Okay, so I guess that's all beside the point. But anyway, just had to talk about that. You know, I need something else to talk about, because there's really only so much talking about Skyrim I can do, because we've played this game. Between me playing it, and I'm sure everybody that watches this has played it and everything, there's only so much we can talk about here. But one thing I was thinking about, though, since we're playing a Bethesda game, and I like Bethesda games, and I like Bethesda in general, I don't know if anybody's here to kill or not. Let's see, sometimes, I don't know if anybody's respawned. It wasn't that long ago that I was here for another purpose, but see, I don't know game time, how much time has passed. Oh, okay, this chest is reset. That means probably the whole dungeon has reset, which is fine. I guess that'll make it more interesting than if we just walked in and grabbed a book and walked out. Nonetheless, so the latest debacle mess with Fallout 76. Well, first, maybe I should just start with, out of the games I play from Bethesda, and mind you, I usually do not buy anything like when it's brand new, not anymore. I did, though, in the past, but I don't now. But I really enjoyed, I'm just going to start with the recent ones. I really enjoyed Oblivion. I really enjoyed Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I really enjoyed Skyrim. I like Fallout 4. I have not played it all the way through yet. That's nobody's fault but my own. I'm not saying I have anything against Fallout 4. I'm just saying, since I've not played all the way through it yet, excuse me, and I keep coming back to Skyrim, and I'm not playing Fallout 3 over and over, or even New Vegas over and over, and I have gone back and played Oblivion a few times. Actually, probably more than a few times. But anyway, so obviously the fantasy games, the Oblivion, Skyrim, obviously the Elder Scroll games I like better. I've played the Elder Scrolls Online. Me and my wife both played it. You know, at some point we just stopped. When Morrowind came out, I got Morrowind, and I went and played some of that. and then again just stopped. And I have purchased Somerset, but I haven't gone to play it, so I don't know when I'll get to that. But I'm just saying, I think I prefer the fantasy games. Let's just go in here. But nonetheless, I do like the Fallout games. I think I prefer the old tactical games more than the first-person shooter games when it comes to Fallout. And if you know what I mean, if you don't know what I mean, I just mean if you remember how XCOM-ish the games were in the past. It was like what do they call it? Like a classic RPG with tactical turn-based combat. That's how it used to be. I hope I have what I need to get in here. Yeah, the weapons are still in the door. Good. So, and like Wastelands, is it Wastelands 2 that's on the Xbox? I think it is. I very much enjoyed that game. I played that and had a good time with it. I enjoyed, what's the other game that is kind of similar and kind of not? The Divinity game, I can't think of the full name, but it was Divinity. Oh man. Anyway, it was exploration. You and your little group. You'd have a party and you would explore and you'd talk. And Serana, will you quit pushing me around? Oh. And but then you'd have turn-based battles instead of action battles. You'd have turn-based battles, kind of tactical like XCOM. And I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. And I'm kind of looking at that Mutant, what is it, Mutant Year Zero game, and I'm thinking it's going to be the next game like that I get. I will probably wait for it to be a little more on sale, but I have to say that the game looks fun, and I don't really mind that the characters are like mutant animals. I think that's kind of funny, so... I'm really kind of tired of the apocalyptic stuff, though. Oh, where's he at? Do I have my fire breath on? Let me find it. Yep. Isn't he gonna be...
Right
She shot him through the wall? Serana. I do appreciate you, but that was weird at best. I'm not sure he's dead either. I thought I saw a red dot. Why did she get right in front of that? Anyway. I'm slowly working my way to something else. But anyway, so I like the Fallout games, and I have played them, though like I said, I've not played Fallout 4 enough. Oh, do I have to fight him? I forgot about that. He has reset. I guess I do have to fight him. Anyway, so really, I did... Oh, that was nice. Very cool. So I really do enjoy all those games. I enjoy Bethesda's games, and I will keep probably playing Skyrim and Oblivion over and over and over. I don't know if I'll ever play the Fallouts quite that much, but the new, but Fallout 4, since I can do mods, that does help it. That does increase its playability, kind of like Skyrim. That's the only bad thing about Oblivion is that, oh, I need that book, is that it does not have, even Enchanted, that is not worth taking. It does not have any mods on the Xbox, which is too bad. I would like to see like an anniversary edition of Oblivion, but not change. Okay. Not change the graphic style. I kind of like the old toony Oblivion style. It's kind of cute and pretty in its own way. I would not want it to suddenly look like Skyrim and everybody looks dirty and pathetic and ugly. It would just be horrible. Even though the modding community obviously can fix that, still, I would like to see a kind of an upgrade to that and allow mods on the Xbox. That would be great. That's probably not going to happen, and I understand that the game is the game's pretty old, and I don't know. Would other people buy it? I mean, I would buy it, but that doesn't mean anything because I'm just kind of the crazy old dude. I would kind of like it, but that doesn't mean everybody would. Would they make enough money to make it worth their while? I don't know. That would be a hard question to answer. Shouldn't there still be somebody back here? Did I kill this guy? I don't remember killing this guy. Anyway. It looks like I threw some stuff down here last time. See if there's anything in here. Oh yeah, here we go. I don't need that. Oh, do I have to go out the... I guess we have to go back out the normal way. I think you can drop it this way. Yep. Anyway, this really wasn't a very hard quest to do for him. We'll go turn that in. So anyway, so I was talking about all that just to say, I really enjoyed the Bethesda games. Now, I know, for the most part, people do not like Fallout 76, and they have a number of good reasons for that. I get it. I do. I'm not saying anything bad about that. I have no interest in Fallout 76. I really didn't from the beginning because, like, if I was going to critique Fallout 74, the one thing I would say that I did not like in Fallout 4, not 74. Okay, I'm a doofus. But anyway, like if I was going to critique Fallout 4, my biggest thing with it was the crafting. I don't care about all the crafting and the settlements. That's not something I really wanted to do. So I kind of just ignore that stuff when I'm playing it. Except in my mod playthrough, there's some mods that make it incredibly easy, so I do some of it. But like in the vanilla game, on my guy Wyatt, I'm not planning on doing any of that. It's just tedious. Nothing work. I don't. If the crafting is worse or more involved in like Skyrim's crafting, I'm not interested. That's just too much. Even Skyrim's crafting in a way is annoying, but it's not horribly so. Usually you only need 3 or 4 items to craft. 3 or 4 items or ingredients to craft some armor or a weapon. So it's not horribly bad. I still don't enjoy it, but it's not horribly bad, and I can do it relatively easily. So, but if your crafting gets more involved in that, and it's more troublesome than that, then I don't care much for it. And the good thing about Skyrim is you could totally ignore the crafting and just use the armor and weapons that you loot off of creatures and bad guys, and you'll be fine.
Talk to Captain Gallant if you're looking to get past.
So I don't mind the crafting so much in Skyrim. It's not so bad. But in Fallout 4, they really went over the top with way too much stuff. It's just way too involved. Now, for people who enjoy that crafting, though, hey, that's great. And I'm glad that I can just ignore it and play the game. So I'm fine with that. I'm not really putting it down. I'm just saying, for me, it's a whole unnecessary thing that I'm not going to use. Well, it sounds like Fallout 76, which getting back to the debacle and all the latest craziness, that the main part of Fallout 76 is basically scavenging stuff and crafting. And I really don't care much about that. That's not the fun part of Fallout for me. From what I've seen, mind you, I don't have the game, and I have not played Fallout 76, but from what I've seen, I'm not very interested because you really, I don't know, it just didn't look that appealing. The monsters are just the regular old monsters.
Your enchanting has improved despite
And
your
the,
best efforts.
So, do you have it? Did you get
And
my
you
book?
really basically need to have,
Perhaps this
you
particular
know, you need to
source was
kind of have
worth
a
more than I
group
thought
of
he
friends
was.
to play it with, to
In any
enjoy
case,
yourself,
This is truly
and for it
amazing.
not to be too
I can
crazy.
adapt this into a sort
Though you can
of
play it by
whirlwind
yourself, but I mean,
vortex
it's just,
energy.
it just looked like it
Yes,
would be
yes.
extremely
I'll
boring
write
just
it down.
wandering around by
And
myself.
you can pick up a copy from Talbot's in a few days.
In the meantime, take this for helping me.
Well, was I supposed to read that book? Should I have read that book? Hold on a second. I'm going to reload, and we're going to read that book. 'Cause I think I may have made a mistake in not reading that book. I don't think I read it. I think I just grabbed it up, which was dumb. Just in case, I'm going to take a look at it. Anyway, so it doesn't really look that appealing to me, but because they're taking Fallout 4 and trying to make it into a massively multiplayer online type of game, and these games, you know, going back to Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, New Vegas, Fallout 4, none of these games were made to be online. They were all made to be single player games. So they're trying to shoehorn in a lot of functionality and things. Or maybe they're just trying to build pieces to do this online things where you have this big world and you can have all these people in it and have all these creatures roaming around and stuff. They're just trying to do that with a bunch of things that were not designed to do that. So they're trying to cobble together something to make that work, and that's probably not the best way to do it. The fact that it works at all is actually a testament to the fact that they do know their engine and they know what they've created. Even though it doesn't work all that well, it still does work. The world seems pretty empty, and it just doesn't seem very fun to me. I'm going by what I've seen in people's playing the game and stuff. I'm really not going by any personal experience of my own. Where is that stupid book? It was Wind and Sand, or Sand and Wind? Oh, there it is, down at the bottom. Duh. Okay, it did nothing for me. Well, that was stupid. I should just let him have it.
So, do you have it?
Anyway,
Perhaps
so
this particular source was worth more than I thought.
I don't know. I'm hoping that,
In any case, this is truly
I mean, really,
amazing.
if you look at Fallout 76, the way it's designed, the way it's made, the way the progression is made with the
Yes, yes.
little
I'll
random
write it down.
cards
you can
and
pick up a copy from
the
Talbot's in a
perk
few days.
points and the way they do that,
In the
that's,
meantime, take
I mean, you can
this
tell
for
that's
help
all
me.
made to be able to sell you card packs that will be basically like random loot boxes, kind of like they do in Madden, where they sell you card packs and they're random. And for some reason, people have accepted those as if that's
I wonder
not
if a
something
dragon
bad,
could be captured
but it
alive.
is.
It would
Anyway,
make a fascinating test subject.
I think they accepted it that way to begin with, because at first it seemed like, well, this is kind of like buying packs of cards at the store when we were kids and we collected football cards and baseball cards. But since they built that whole part of their game, the Ultimate Team part of the game out of that, it really made it, I don't know, it made it less appealing. It made it something kind of bad. But that's kind of how they designed Fallout 76 with those cards being random. I already didn't like some of the changes to Fallout 74.
Good day, friend. Keeping well?
The way they changed some of the perks and different things. It's not that it's awful. You can still... What did he just shoot him with? Oh, light. You can still, Fallout 74, you can still play it. It's still good. It's I wasn't thrilled with those changes, but, I guess it was a choice. Fallout 4. I may have said 74 again. Just realize if I say 74, I mean 4. I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyway. But in 76, it sounds like your progression and your perks are really tied to these randomized cards. Anytime you see something that's tied to randomized stuff in a game, and then they have currencies in their game, like premium currencies, then yeah, they want to sell you that. It's going to be some kind of microtransaction. And you might be okay with that. Depends on how they handle it. You might be okay with it. I personally do not think it's okay. But, I just want a game to be a price, and I want to have the whole game and play it. It may sound weird, but it's just a fact. If you can't develop an entire game for me for $60 and let me buy it and play it, if you have to do all this other crazy stuff, oh my goodness, this happens. Sometimes the dragons follow you. This serpentine dragon, he's somehow attached to me when I fast travel. His skeleton will just drop out of the sky. Anyway, it's a glitch. Or a bug. That's up to you. It's your choice. But anyway... I just picked up a spigot. Oh, I am so dumb. I looked right at it, my eyes focused on that word, and I still hit take off. I cannot believe I did that. Yep, there it is. Probably the most useless thing in the game, or at least one of. Anyway. So the whole idea... And I'm not trying to say, oh, it's just totally just a cash grab. I don't know what the intent was. I just know that the way that game ends up looking is bad, just in design and the way it is. And people that enjoy it, though, people that have that, and I don't know how many people this would actually be, people who have a good group of friends that get together and play all the time, they might enjoy that, but then there are other games they can already jump into and play. So I don't know. I don't know how much fun or how great that'll be. In the long run, I know Bethesda is probably working on some of these bugs and issues, and I know they fixed some things already. So, but and really, I feel bad for people who feel like they got cheated in the $200 edition. That canvas bag wasn't in there, and I know Bethesda says they're gonna let those folks get a canvas bag now. But really, you bought a $200 edition of a game. Now I know a lot of people did it just for the helmet, and I understand that. When I bought Halo 3, I did buy whatever edition it was that had the Master Chief's helmet. It was like $100 for that. I did. So it's partly my fault. That's why I've stopped buying new games, special editions, or anything like that, because I'm really encouraging them just to do more of that, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I don't do that anymore. I've kind of put my money where my mouth is, or I've just taken my money and decided not to spend it that way. So for Bethesda and Fallout 76, have one game. I'm not really interested in. I'm kind of interested in, what was this other game? It is out, I'm pretty sure, and I just have not, I haven't bought it or tried it or anything. I'm trying to think, what was the name of that game? It wasn't Rust, was it? No. But it was still, I think, a Fallout-esque type of game, kind of an apocalyptic type of game. Alright, little dudes. I'm sorry, but you've got something. Oh, am I in the right place? I think I'm in the right place. Retrieve the Black Book. You've got something I want in this cave, dudes.
Where'd you...
He's funny. These guys are really funny. These are like little goblins should have been. The one thing in Oblivion that was really crazy was goblins, man. They were tough. If you got a whole bunch of goblins, especially in the high levels, those goblins could be really, really tough on you. Anyway, so hopefully, though, Bethesda will, if they do try to do another online game, I mean, you know, Elder Scrolls Online, technically it's an Elder Scrolls game. But it's really another game, just kind of reskinned. It's really not 100%. It's really not Elder Scrolls. The story is, the lore is, but the actual gameplay and the way a lot of things work is not very Elder Scrolls. And we know this, and we've just accepted that. It's still a good game, it's fun to play, it's not exactly like what we would have thought of. But like I said, I think everybody has kind of accepted it for what it is. You either like it or you don't. You either play it or you don't. It's pretty simple. Do I have to fight this boar? Yes, I do. Oh, I should have got that. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I am just... So, there you go. I think if they do a Fallout Online game, you know, first of all, you have to decide, do you really want PvP? I think most of us who play Bethesda games, we're not necessarily looking for PvP. Now, I know the Elder Scrolls Online has that, and it's fine. It's a separate portion of the game. And people can certainly go do that and enjoy it, and that's probably the best way to do it, is to keep it totally separate. Because you're always going to have people who don't want a PvP. I mean, if you remember how WoW handled that, they kept the PvP and the PvE totally separate, and I think that was a good way of doing it. When I wanted to do some PvP, I could go do that, and then the rest of the time, when I just wanted to play, I could just play. I did not have to do anything that I didn't want to do. Oh, I got tricked a time or two. I remember there was an old glitch where you could get somebody of the opposite faction to duel you, and you could get them flagged. I forget how that worked exactly right now. But you could actually get them flagged, and then all your buddies could kill them, and you could grief them for a certain amount of time. If you're like me, though, all you had to do was just be patient and, oh, sorry, little dude. That was kind of rough. Just be patient and let the flag wear off, and then you could respawn, and it's no problem. But yeah, there was a glitch, and people could take advantage of that and trick you and get you flagged. But at most, I think the flag, what did it last? 15 minutes? it wasn't that long. So even if you accidentally got flagged, you could easily overcome it just with a little bit of patience. If you also were like me, you probably had other characters you could go play. You could sign off and go play somebody else, and when you came back in a little while, that flag again would have worn off and would be fine. So, it sounds like they didn't really, in Fallout 76, they didn't really do any real reasonable PvP, and since they were trying to mix it in with the rest of the world, and they wanted to prevent griefing and stuff, they really just made it a non-factor, which is fine. But in that case, just leave it out or keep it totally separate in a way that's manageable. You know, just my thought. Just my thoughts on it. It's not really a big deal to me since I don't have the game. And I'm not really interested in it. Too much crafting and stuff. If I had some friends to just fool around with, maybe I would try it. Oh, hey dude. But I doubt it. I doubt it. So what else? What else is going on in the... Oh! Little dude! These guys really are. These guys are like how I thought goblins should be. So I hope Starfield, when that comes out, and I understand that that's going to come out before the next Elder Scrolls. Now I like sci-fi. I played all the Mass Effects. Well, okay, wait. Let me take. Oh, dude. Let me take that back. I played the first 3 Mass Effects, and I really enjoyed them. I played them a couple of times. I have not played Andromeda, but not because I think it sucks. Well, I was a little disappointed that they didn't come out with any more DLC for it. I waited to get it on sale, first of all, okay? So by the time I was getting it on sale, you know, all the hubbub had happened, all the drama had occurred, and we knew there was not going to be any more, there's not going to be any expansion or DLC or anything. So I thought, well, definitely wait till you get it on sale then. So I really waited and got it on sale. And I will play it, I just haven't done it yet. But I will. But I don't see the point, and I'm just not in a rush. I got all distracted here with Skyrim. How much is that? Oh, it's not worth it. With Skyrim and the mods, and that's all I've been playing now for... I don't know if you look back on my stream. Well, I can't say that's all I've been playing. It's mostly what I've been playing, though. I've played a little bit of other stuff off and on, because like I do like XCOM and that type of gameplay. Like I said, I do like that. Y'all just want to claw me to death with those things. Oh, he come up out of the snow, didn't he? Oh, my dude is just so mean to those little guys. Wow. Anyway. They don't weigh anything. They're like arrows. Girl, quit pushing me. Oh, why did they program her to just run up on you like that? Doesn't make good sense. Oh, there's some little dudes. So Starfield, I'm hoping that will be a fun sci-fi game. I don't care that they continue to use their creation engine. I just think they should probably update their engine more. You know, you can update your engine and your tools that you use to create your game, and still keep them as something that's easy and familiar. You don't have to, you know, recreate the wheel. Why is she in front of me so much? I'm just whacking her. Oh, wait, that's hers. Oh, well. Sorry, little dude. Watcha. That's why my wife calls them Weechaws. She thought they were saying Weechaw instead of Watcha, so she says they're the Weechaws. And so that's what we've started calling them, is the Weechaws. We don't call them Reeklings or whatever they're supposed to be called. We call them Weechaws. The Weechaws! And that's the good thing about having people you play games with. You come up with all these little funny, goofy things. I know in Halo, we didn't call them jackals. We called them shield guys because they had shields, and we would just call them, "Oh, that's the shield guys." You know. And then we did call the elites though. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else we silver? Oh, I don't really care. It's too much trouble. I know I'm terrible. I'm like, it's too much trouble to mine that silver, so I'm just not going to. Anyway. So we had different names for guys. The grunts, sometimes we would call the grunts, or I have called the grunts, me and like my nephews and different people I played with called the grunts little, little kids or little punks or whatever, because that's what they are. They're like, the grunts are kind of like little punks in Halo. They're just little mischievous dudes. Anyway, see, I'm just wandering all over the place. Am I anywhere close to where I need to be? Not yet. We're working on it, though. And then when I get the book, I still... Did the lighting just... It did. Okay, look at this. See the lighting? It's going to change to a reddish, shadowed tint. That's weird. Oh! Hello. These guys are good at the guerrilla warfare, I'll give them that. They might be little, but they're pretty swift in their own way. Oh, he's carrying his own statue. That's funny. Oh. Alright. I don't want her having her own Reekling. That's too confusing for me. It's one good thing about mods. If I do have Serana as a follower, I can eliminate certain spells I don't want her to have. And just have her have the spells I want her to have and just use those. That's terrible, isn't it? But it's true. Let's see. So I don't see anything else here really worthwhile. The little lighting thing was kind of funny. It changes every time. She's going to be in my way now. But, yep. See that? Greenish, reddish. One thing I miss from Oblivion is the old Night Eye. I'm sure not everybody will agree with this, but I used to like the old Night Eye. The Night Eye spell or the potion. And it made everything this cool blue, and you could see in the dark. I liked it very much. And I preferred the old, Oh, is this where I'm supposed to go? Well, I don't know. We're gonna go that way and see. Preferred the old light spell in Oblivion 2. It was much better. And the spell making in Oblivion was so fun, and you can't do that in this game, and I miss that. It would be a lot of fun if you could make your own spells. It would also be fun if you could add 3 enchants to an item if you wanted to. That was something that at times I actually did. Oh, they have made quite a collection of these books. Whoa, I have never seen this before. Okay, or at least I don't remember seeing it. If I did, it was years ago. I don't always. A lot of times I start characters and I never even make it to Solstheim. I don't know. I guess the whole Solstheim is a good DLC, but I don't think it's quite as fun as like the Shivering Isles was. But even the Shivering Isles was not as good as the original game either. So that's fair. I don't want to act like the Shivering Isles was just the end all be all. It was a good, very good DLC. It was a lot of fun. Their worst DLC we all know about was the horse armor, which I still bought it. I did. That was a long time ago, but and I shouldn't have bought it had I realized. But it was only like a couple of dollars, really, and I thought it would just be, it would just be something fun. My wife seems to like it, Oh. Now the funny thing was, there's been a couple of games that I own on the 360 or the Xbox, and I also got the PC version. Oblivion is one of those games. That's worth it. And I did play Oblivion on the PC a little bit, and you can mod it. I think I still have that game laying around here somewhere. And I do have a PC that will run that, but my PC is like 10 years old. It'll run Oblivion and it'll run Halo, which I have the old PC version of the original Halo. But it won't run like, I think Skyrim is too new, or it might run a very low end of Skyrim, but I never bought Skyrim for it. Is this the turn? Oh, that's the turn. So, because I haven't bought PC since 2008. I had to buy that one, but I haven't bought one since. I used to play WoW, and I played WoW for years on that one. Where can I go down the stairs at? Where are the stairs? Whatcha? Oh, the stairs? Oh, these are the stairs. Oh, look at this. We got a charger. Pretty good. So I haven't, oh, why is she in my face like that? So I haven't bought a computer since then. Of course I had my 360, and now I got my Xbox One. And I liked playing on the computer, but I really preferred playing on the console because I preferred the controllers anyway. Now, people who are younger than me, which is probably most people who play, I know most of them swear by and really love, is there somebody up there? The mouse and keyboard. I mean, that's fine. That is totally your choice. But for me, oh, he's throwing a spear at me. You booger. Should we dodge? Oh, there. Oh, he's throwing another one at me. But I grew up playing games. The only choice was some kind of joystick or controller. There was no mouse. There was a keyboard, so I can understand that because I was familiar with playing games with the keyboard. But there was no mouse. Not really. The mouse is very much a Johnny-come-lately. Joysticks, gamepads, that type of things, how we used to play. I have never thought that the mouse was an improvement. Maybe that just makes me the old dinosaur, but I just never thought the mouse was an improvement on that. the mouse is just a different device. It works differently. I mean, if you like it, there's certainly nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with using it. But I always preferred having a controller, and that's what I've always done. Even, I used to have, well, I still have a controller that I would use for a while. People say, oh, well, there's not enough buttons, you can't use a controller. Yeah, you can. You easily can. If you use like a 360 controller, in the end, a 360 controller has about 16 buttons, and you can make combinations after that if you want by using button combinations. But I didn't really use button combinations. What I would do, I found that for most games and most characters in most games, you're really only going to use probably about, well, it depends on the game, but most of the time you're only going to use 10 or 12 buttons. Sometimes way less. Sometimes some games you only use 3 or 4 buttons, and then some games you'll use 5 to 8 and so forth and etc. You get the idea. I've never seen a game that I really had to have like more than 16 different buttons. And usually for most of the game, for most of all games, you play with 4 to 8 buttons. If you think about it. You rarely really use other things. I'm not saying never, because yeah, sometimes you have situations where like, well, I have to be able to use this one special ability for, this boss or this situation. That's fine. That does happen. We all know that happens, and you have to deal with that. I don't think that's anything unusual, but it, again, can easily be handled. And I know some people seem to think that there's some programming issue with using a controller versus a mouse, but really, there's not. Oh, I'm actually too full, rats. It's really just a matter of programming, period. It's not really an issue. If you make your game to allow for whatever controller, whether it be mouse or controller or mouse keyboard, or I have had games where I used a combination of controller or gamepad and keyboard. Actually, it was in the old days. I used more of a joystick and a keyboard combination, which would be similar to what people do with a mouse and keyboard. Wouldn't be that much different. So it just depends on what you like. I've never understood that idea that, oh, you can't do that. That's just too. And I'm like, well, actually, sure you can. It's just a matter of programming. It's really not a big deal. These people that make the games, they just don't want to do the extra steps. It's kind of like when you go into a game and they have preset all the buttons, either on your controller or on your keyboard and on your mouse, and you can't rebind any of that. That is a choice they have made. It is a lazy choice, but it is a choice they have made, so that you cannot change. I'm really going to have to go in and draw some stuff. Yep, I might as well just get started. So that it's a lazy choice. It's just a little less work for them. The really smart thing to do would be for all game developers to develop one I want to call it, well, if I say the old name, anyway, develop like one subroutine, one little piece of code that you plug into all your games, okay? And then you can call it by whatever the new buzzword is or whatever. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, one routine, one little piece of software that you plug into all your games that allows all your keys on the controller or the mouse or the keyboard to be rebound. You create that one time. One time you create this piece of software, you maintain it in one place, and you use it in every one of your games. It's that simple. And then all your games would have that flexibility, and that would be something that people would like. I think most gamers would like that kind of flexibility. There are times that I would really enjoy being able to just change even just a couple of buttons. It would be nice. It's not a necessity, obviously, but it would be nice. Like, I would like for all driving controls in games to be like the Warthog driving controls. I'm warming up my coffee, by the way, sorry. The Warthog in Halo, to me, makes the most sense when it comes to driving. The left thumbstick is my speed, and I steer, and my camera moves with the right thumbstick. There's no reason why that I can think of that I want to be having my camera swinging wildly around me while I try to drive. That doesn't even make sense. If you wanted to be able to look behind you or look around you, then you should have another button you press to do that. You know, rather than the weird way some people do driving, which I do not understand. But that's just me. I got used to that in Halo, and I just played it, Halo and Halo 2 and Halo 3 for so many years, and I got used to that type of driving, that is just my favorite way of driving in video games. To me, driving should be that simple. It should be a two stick or two button control. It shouldn't be three, where your camera is somehow separated from your steering, and every time I turn right, well, I've got to try to get that camera to turn with me. It's just a little extra detail that isn't necessary. If you think about driving in real life, you use the steering wheel and the pedal. That's it. Well, you use the brakes. But unless you're manually shifting gears, like in my truck, you're really not using a third control. Yeah, I can turn my head around and look freely, but I'm willing to give a little bit of that up in a game because I don't really need that in the game. In the game, I need to be able to see where I'm going. I don't need to be able to see to the side just because I'm turning right. I don't have to have my head looking left like I haven't turned, you know. That's just kind of weird. But that's another goofy thing. I don't know how I got off on that. Anyway. Sorry, I just rambled on and on and on. I thought it would be good to talk about something different, but now I start to question my decision. You know, those aren't really worth very much. I'm gonna drop this. I need everything right now to be worth 30 gold a pound. If they have no weight, then they're fun. But I need everything to be worth 30 gold a pound. So if it's not, then I need to drop it, because it's just too much right now. That, you notice that barely makes it? That is barely 30 gold a pound exactly. That's funny. I'm keeping that regardless. That's just one of those collectible things. Let's see, 30 times that would be basically 900. Okay, 11. Yep, still good. Yep. We can drop that. That's fine. Of course, the rings and necklaces are probably going to be fine. Why did I even pick that up? That was probably an accident. You can drop those. Those aren't really important. Yep, that's good. That's good. That's good. Still good, though. For £1, they're worth a lot. Yep, that's still worth it. Yep. Oh. Why is a skull hat worth so much? Wow. I did not realize that. My goodness. That's a lot. Oh wait, why is... Wow, that's really cheap compared to the others. Okay, well, unless I have something else I've picked up that I didn't remember picking up. Should be in good shape. Let me just see if there's anything we need to drop here. I have really collected a lot of stuff. I'm so sorry for this. Just give me a minute. Okay, those are worth it. No, I don't need ore anyway. Yeah, those are worth it. Yeah. Oh, I have a bone and a scale. I didn't, pardon me, I didn't remember killing a dragon, but okay. Oh, well, I don't need the firewood. I can always make more. Let's see. Goblet? Don't need the goblet. That must have been an accident. Heartstones. Why do I have 10 heartstones? Oh my goodness. Well, I just do. I think those are still worth it. Yep, you did it. Yep, you just made it. Nope, you didn't make it. 30 gold a pound is what I'm looking for. Oh, just missed it, sorry. Just outside. Oh, too bad for you. Well, Skyrim's worth it. That was the first little bit of Skyrim I think I have found. Oh, you didn't make it either. Alright, so we're down to 500 pounds. We threw a bunch of stuff down, and somehow I got injured by that. I don't know why dropping stuff hurt me, but okay. I'll have to accept that it did hurt me. The honeycomb looked good. It's glowing. Didn't we just kill a little dude up here somewhere? I think I got confused over where I'm at now. I spent so long dropping everything. Yep. No, that's not worth it. That's 20 pounds. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? That's not worth it. My goodness. Oh, he's laying over there, I guess. Iron ingots, no. Oh, wait, strongbox. Oh, it's an expert. Let's see what's in it. How much time do... Oh! Okay, my time is almost up. We're not done with this. I'll have to come back to it later. Because I don't know how long this is, if this is going to take a lot longer. And I have just been rattling on... Oh, this is the well. Okay, so up here is the well. Oh, I'll tell you a trick if you don't know it. Everybody probably knows it. I didn't. I never really thought of this, but my son was telling me, you take one of these buckets, any of the buckets in the world, and when you go into a store or someone's house, you just put the bucket over their head, and then they can't see you, and you can steal whatever you want. I have not tried this yet. We shall have to try that one day. Is somebody outside? Yes, somebody's outside. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, so the well is on that side of the room. So what goes on this side of the room? This side of the room... I do not know. That's a snake well. Oh, that one was the one that was missing. Snake well. Well, this is well. That's the one that's missing. Oh, I didn't look up. Oh, I should have left it alone. It's the bird. How doofusy. Hopefully they didn't move it around just to confuse me. Rana, you are still in the way, girl. Anyway. So, I don't know. I may have lost track of anything that I was talking about. So if I have, I apologize. It's so easy for me to do that. Because I'm just rambling on and on and on. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing more other games as well, though. I'm really enjoying Skyrim, and I'm sure I'll play it more. But I may leave it for a little bit and come back to it. I don't know. I haven't finished this yet. What did they just give me? I did not pay close attention. Was it a good shout? It didn't strike me as something that I really wanted. Oh, it was Cyclone. I don't really care. If anybody knows a good use for Cyclone, let me know. I don't really use it. I tend to use Fire Breath the most. Oh, which I have all three. Oh. Well, okay. Well, I'm okay then. My Fire Breath is good. Other than that, I use some of these when I really need to. I've used Mark for Breath a few times. Marked for Death a few times. Why we get 3 Drain Vitalities, I will never understand. I'm not even sure if that's just some kind of weird glitch or what. This one appears to be better. This one, I'm not even sure what that one does. If it makes you, is it a vampiric shout where it gives you their vitality? Whoa, did that look really blurry for a second? Yes, it does. I guess it's the fog effect. Oh, this is the book. Where am I at? I'm in Benkongerike Great Hall. What book is this? This says Black Book. This must be the way out. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to save here, because I'm going to have to go. So I'm going to save here, and we'll come back to this later. And we'll do this Black Book. But I'm not going to do it right now. Since I have to go anyway, so. Okay, sorry if all the rambling was too much. You can always just tell me what you think. Let me know if that was just too much insane rambling. If I just need to stay focused on what we're playing, that's fine. Maybe that's what I should do anyway, honestly. Otherwise, I really have to try to focus on what I'm saying. Whereas normally, if we're just talking about the game as we're playing, then it's easier. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.